Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Sasivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Nitaye Sarva Vidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणम् श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम् परित्यज्य मौनं वठादस्थितिं च व्रजन् भारतस्य प्रदेशात् प्रदेशम् मधुस्यन्दिवाचा जनान् धर्ममार्गेण यन् श्रीजयेन्द्रो गुरुर्वातिकृत्य नमामः शङ्करान् वाक्यविजयेन्द्र सरस्वती श्रीगुरुं कृष्णमार्गारुणेतारं सन्मतिप्रदं सत्यनारायणक्षेत्रात् सत्यव्रतं पागतम् आश्रये कामकोटीशं सत्यश्रीचन्द्रशेखरं सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्. In the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about what is the attitude with which different classes of people who are in different levels of spiritual progress have to do dharma, have to do karma, and saving the best for the last. He is now talking about us. We are neither jnanis, we are nor regular ajnanis. We are neither jnanis. I don't think I need to explain more than that. We are not regular ajnanis, meaning you are not very low in the spiritual progress level as a common person that we might encounter. Because they would think themselves as body, they don't even have the idea of Atma, but we have that idea. We know that Atma exists, number one. We know that we have to give more priority to our Atma-ness than our bodiness. That is also there. We might have problems in bringing that into practice. Or we have problem in bringing that into practice. If we don't have problem, then we will become jnani. So what should we do? What should be our attitude while doing karmas? Because for a jnani, whatever karma he does, the karma does not produce any phalam, that is punyam or papam, because punyam or papam requires kartrutvam, doerness. Kartrutvam requires deha abhimanam. Because this jnani does not have deha abhimanam, he will not have any kartrutvam. Because jnani does not have any kartrutvam, he is not going to get punyam or papam. An ajnani has to do karma because he wants punyam or papam. If somebody wants punyam or papam, they have to do karma. There is no two questions about it. So, what should be the attitude through which people like us who are neither jnani nor ajnani have to do karma? Because we don't want punyam or papam. Why don't we want punyam or papam? Okay, papam we don't want, I understand. Why should not we want punyam? Because when you get punyam as well, punyam is also going to give you janma. Swamiji used to say, if papam is an iron shackle, punyam is a golden shackle. If papam is a jail made up of iron rods, punyam is a jail made up of golden rods. That it is a jail, there is absolutely no two questions about it. So we don't want punyam or papam, but we also have to do karma. So what is the attitude with which we have to do karma? Krishna says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyaധ്യാത്മ ചേതസാ निराशीः निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्य विगतज्वरः. Hey Arjuna, you do all the karma, but after doing all the karma, kayena vacha manasi indriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yad sakalam parasmai नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. आत्मा त्वं गिरिजामतिः आत्मा त्वं गिरिजामतिः सहचराः प्राणः शरीरं गृहम् पूजा ते विषयोपभोगरचना निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः सञ्चारः पतयोर्प्रदक्षिणविधिः स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनम्. If you are inclined on Mahavishnu, then you can chant Kayena Vacha Manasendreva. If you are inclined on Parameshwara, then you can chant this shloka Atma Tum Girija Mati Sahachara Prana Shariram Graham Puja Te Vishayopa Rachana Nitra Samadhi Sthitihi Sanchara Padayor Pradakshana Vidistotrani Sarvagiro Yadyat Karma Karomi Tattadagilam Shambho Tavaradanam. Beautiful sloka from Shiva Manasa Puja written by Adi Shankaracharya. If I have more inclination towards Ambal, जपो जल्पश्रीपं सकलमपि मुद्राविरचना गदिप्रादक्षिण्यक्रमरमशनाद्याहुतिविधिः प्रणामः संवेशसुखमखिलमात्मार्पणदृशा सपर्यापर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्. All these shloka means the same thing. Whatever karma that I do, I offer that karma as a puja to you. I offer that karma onto you. Kayena. I think that's the Visa meaning for this shloka. Kayena, Vacha, Manasa, Indriyairva, Buddhyatmanava, Prakritehe Swabhavat, Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai, Narayanaya, Iti Samarpayami. People will tell this as Shriman Narayanayeti Samarpayami. Shloka does not have that Shriman. It should be Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaayeti Samarpayami தான். அந்த இடத்துல ஸ்ரீமன்னு சொல்லப்படாது. சொன்னால் சந்தோலோபம்னு வரும். In Sanskritam, we have got meter. Anushtup Chandas, they should have this much letter. Trishtup Chandas, Jagati Chandas. அந்த மாதிரிலாம் மீட்டர் இருக்கு. ஸ்லோகத்துல அந்த ஸ்ரீமன் அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுக்கு அங்க அவகாசம் கிடையாது. ஏதோ நம்ம ஸ்ரீமன் சொன்னாதான் அவர் ஸ்ரீமன், நம்ம ஸ்ரீமன் சொல்லலைன்னா அவர் மகாலட்சுமியோட சண்டை போட்டுருவார் நம்ம நினைச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. Let us chant the shloka as it is written. So காயேன வாசா மனசேந்திரேர்வா புத்தியாத்மனா வா பிரகிருதே ஸ்வபாவாத் கரோமி யத்யத் சகலம் பரஸ்மை நாராயணாயேதி சமர்ப்பயாமி. கரச்சரண கிருதம் ஆத்மாத்வம் गिरिजामति सहचरा प्राणा शरीरं गृहम् पूजा ते विषयोपभोगरचना निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः सञ्चारः पदयोर्प्रदक्षिणविधिः स्तोत्राणि सर्वागिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शम्भो तवारा. In Shiva Manasa Puja Stotram, Acharya says, Atma Tvam. Hey Shiva, hey Parameshwara, who am I? Who is the Atma? Here, the Atma does not refer to Sachidananda Atma. Here, the Atma refers to the principle that is present inside you and that operates you, like the processor inside a computer, a processor inside a mobile phone. Because these are Bhakti Granthas, Acharya will talk about Jnanam, Acharya will talk about Upanishad Atma, but he is going to make some compromises because the reader is not going to be at that level. So here, Atmatvam means that consciousness principle which is present inside the body that operates the body. That is you, Parameshwara, Atma, Tvam. There is absolutely no difference between you and I. Girija Matihi. So there has to be an intelligent principle. Who is intelligent principle now? Girija. Parameshwara is Atma. Arvati is the intelligence. Atma Tvam. Girija Matihi. Prana Shariram Griham. So your prana, my prana is Atmatvam Girijamati. Atmatvam Girijamati Sahacharaha Prana. Who are, in Shiva, Shiva will have all the Bhuta Ganas, right? Who are the Bhuta Ganas in my body now? My 10 pranas. We have, normally people talk about Pancha Pranas, but if you go deep, they talk about 10 pranas. So all the 10 pranas are Sahacharas. They are the Bhuta Ganas. Shariram Griham. My entire body is the house of Parameshwara. Atmatvam Girijamatihi Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham. Pujate Vishayopa Bhoga Rachana. Whatever I enjoy, it is like doing puja for Bhagavan. If I eat good food, it is like doing Nevedhyam for Bhagavan. If I listen to a music, it is like, normally during puja, after we do Karpura Deeparadhana, we will be doing all these sevas to Bhagavan. Sangeeta seva mamataraya, Natya seva mamataraya, Natyam darshayami, Andolikam, Ashwan aropayami, Rathan aropayami, Gajan aropayami, Andolikam aropayami. All these Rajopacharas we will do. So whatever sense pleasure that I enjoy, it is, I am not enjoying those sense pleasure. It is a form of puja for Bhagavan. Atmatvam Girijamati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham. Because you have to read the shloka properly. Otherwise, everything, the meaning will change. If we chant the shloka in a regular tune, you will not understand the meaning of that shloka. Only when you chant the shloka after knowing the meaning, you will be able to chant it properly. Atmatvam Girijamatihi Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham. So 4 entities are over. Pujate Vishayopa Bhoga Rachana. Vishaya Upabhoga Rachana. Whatever Vishaya Sukham that I enjoy, it is a puja for you. Puja te Vishayopa Bhoga Rachana. Nidra Samadhi Sthiti. We all sleep. Whether we eat, whether we do puja, whether we do Sandhya Vandanam, whether we do Japam or not, we don't know about anything. But one thing that is sure is we sleep. That sleep is like Samadhi. Samadhi means what? Becoming one with Bhagavan. When we sleep, we lose our own identity. When we sleep, we lose our own identity. So Samadhi is equivalent to temporary moksha. Nidra. Nidra is equivalent to temporary moksha. So Nidra Samadhi Sthitihi. What about Pradakshinam? Sanchara Padayor Pradakshana Vidihi. Wherever I move, I am doing Pradakshinam for it. Pradakshinam is not only when I go to temple and then I move. No. Even if I go from kitchen to my hall, I am walking. That is equivalent to doing pradakshinam for Bhagavan. Sanchara padayor pradakshinam. Stotrani sarvagiro. Whatever I speak, whatever I hear, it is a stotram for you. Yadyat karma karomi tattadagilam shambho tava aradhanam. So whatever karma that I do, hey Parameshwara, hey Shambho, it is your aradhanam. Whatever karma that I do, I offer that onto you as a puja for you. So there is no secular or sacred division here. Even when I do a secular karma, it is a puja for Bhagavan. Because you are going to get punyam and papam while doing secular karma as well. In fact, in our Shastra, we don't have difference between secular and sacred. Everything is sacred. There is nothing secular. But now, because of the change in times, we we think some things are secular, we think some things are sacred. But when we follow this shloka, it is like there is no secular or sacred. Yadyat karma karomi tattadagilam. Shambho Tavaradhanam says this beautiful Shiva Manasa Puja Stotram written by Adi Shankaracharya. Same Adi Shankaracharya has given out another shloka in Saundarya Lahari. We will see meanings for that shloka as well. All these shlokas has got very important points which Mahaperiyava talks about in Devatankuram. We will see that and then we will come back again to Bhagavad Gita because this point is very important. The equivalent shloka in Saundarya Lahari is Japo Jalpa Shilpam Sakalamapi Mudra Virachana Gadi Pradakshinya Kramanam Ashanatyahuti Vidihi Pranamas Samvesha Sukhamachila Matmarpanadrisha Saparya Paryayaha Tava Bhavatu Yanme Talasita. No, normally when we do puja, we have to do some japam. People would have taken Panchakshari japam, Ashtakshari japam. In olden days and all, everybody would have taken Panchakshari or Ashtakshari according to their family customs. பஞ்சாட்சரி ஜபம் தான் முதல்ல எடுத்துக்கிறது. அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் மத்த அம்பாள் ஜபங்கள்லாம் எடுத்துக்கிறதெல்லாம் அதுக்கப்புறம் தான். இப்பதான் எல்லாம் மாறி போயிடுச்சு. நாங்க அந்த மந்திர ஜபம் எடுத்துக்கிறோம், இந்த மந்திர ஜபம் எடுத்துக்கிறோம்னு எடுத்துக்கிறோம். ஆனா பஞ்சாட்சரியை விட்டுடுறான். நமக்கு மகாபெரிவா சொல்லி கொடுத்தது என்னன்னா, அவ குடும்பத்துல என்ன பாரம்பரியமா இருக்கும் முதல்ல அதை பண்ணணும். அதுக்கப்புறமாக எனக்கு இஷ்ட தேவதை ஜபம், அது அம்பாளுடைய ஜபமாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, அதெல்லாம் அப்புறமாகத்தான் எடுத்துக்கணுங்க. நம்ம குடும்ப பாரம்பரியத்துல எப்படி இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறத வச்சுட்டு தான் அதுக்குத்தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ப்ரிஃபரன்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ அந்த காலத்துல ஸ்மார்த்தாள்னா பஞ்சாட்சரி ஜபம் எடுத்துக்கிறதுன்னு வச்சுருவா. கல்யாணம் ஆரம்பமே பஞ்சாட்சரி எடுத்து வச்சிருவா. இல்லை வேற அடுத்தது காரியங்கள் வந்ததுன்னா பஞ்சாட்சரி ஜபம் எடுத்து வச்சிருவா. ஸோ பஞ்சாட்சரி ஜபம் அந்த மாதிரி காயத்ரி, புருஷாலா இருந்தா காயத்ரி ஜபம், ஸ்திரீகளா இருந்தா பஞ்சாட்சரி சூரிய நமஸ்காரம், இந்த மாதிரி ஜபங்கள் எடுத்து வச்சுருவா. அதான் சொல்றார், ஜபோ ஜல்ப ஷில்பம் சகலமபி முத்ரா விரச்சனா. வளர், வாட் எவர் ஐ டாக், he says jalpaha. Jalpaha is not even a coherent talk. Jalpaha means some kind of blabbering. Even when I blabber, hey Ambal, let that be a mantra that I do japam of for you. Japo jalpashilpam sakalamapi mudra virachanam. Whatever actions that I do with my hand in Ambal Puja and all, we have something called as mudras. The dance, they will show some hand actions, hand gestures, right? In the same way, People doing the Avavarana Puja, Ambal Puja, you guys would have seen. They do these hand gestures. These are called as mudras. And here Acharya says, whatever hand gestures that I do. No, some person is going on road. I want to call that person. I'm going to extend my hand and then call that person. Hey, இங்க வான்னு கையை மடக்கி கூப்பிடுறேன். Let that be a mudra for you, Amba. யாரோ ஒருத்தர் கோமா அடிக்க போறேன். Let that be a hand gesture for you. Let that be a mudra for you. ஜபோ ஜல்ப Silpam Sakalamapi Mudra Virchana Gadi Pradakshinya. Wherever I walk, whenever I walk, not wherever, whenever I walk, let that be a Pradakshinam for you. Gatihi means walking. Whenever I walk, let that be a Pradakshinam for us. Gadi Pradakshinya Kramanam Ashanat Yahuti Vidhi. Whatever I eat, let that be a Nevedhyam for you. Ashanam means eating. You know that this word we have seen previously in Bhagavad Gita, or later we will see Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyenam Niha Vairinam Kamayesha Krodhayesha Rajoguna Samudavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyenam Niha Vairinam. No, Shloka. Ashanaha means to eat. So, Jadi Pradakshinya Kramana Ashanati Yahuti Vidhi. Let that be Purnahuti for you. You know, when we do Homam, we offer food onto the Homam fire because that Bhagavan, Agni Bhagavan will take that. Agni Bhagavan will act as a postman and then he is going to bring that food to the proper Devata. So let my body be that Agni Bhagavan. Whatever I eat, let that be an ahuti for. Japojal Pashrutam Sakalavapi Mudra Virachana Gadi Pradakshinya Kamanamashana Tyahuti Vidhi Pranamas Samvesha Sukhamakira Mahatma Sanadasha Saparya Paryayaha Tava Bhavatayanme Vilasitam. So whatever I do, Saparya அப்படின்னா அம்பாளினுடைய பூஜா பத்ததிக்கு பேரு சபர்யான்னு பேரு. ஸ்ரீ வித்யா சபர்யா, நித்யா சபர்யா அப்படின்லாம் பூஜா பத்ததிக்கு பேரு போட்டிருக்கா. So even the so-called secularist of the secular action, let that be a puja for you. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya chetasa. So Krishna has given you the theory. And Adi Shankaracharya would have integrated all these things in his shloka. That is the beauty of the shlokas of Adi Shankaracharya, because he takes the hardest of the hardest concepts from Vedanta, from Upanishads. He puts that in very simple terms in shlokas so that it is easier for people to understand. Previously, we have been chanting these shlokas without knowing the entire meaning, or at least we would have, if you learned the meanings of Shiva Manasa Puja Stotram, or if you learned the meaning of Saundari Lahari, you would have learned the meanings of that shloka in the context of Shiva Manasa Puja Stotram or in the context of Saundari Lahari. But the bigger picture we get when we study Bhagavad Gita. So this is the bigger picture. So before moving on to Bhagavad Gita, I will finish this line of thought with some things from Devatirpura. Mahadeva talks about this sloka, especially when he is talking about the Saundarya Lahari. Japojalpa Shilpam Shloka. Mahapariva talks about this and then he says, hey, if whatever you consume is an offering for Bhagavan, how can you consume something which is Shastra Avishita? We eat lots of things, but Do we do nevedhyam of those things to Amba? You go eat out in hotels, restaurants, eat out things, eat things. We all eat things which should not be eaten, which is not approved by Shastra. We do all these things, right? Eating is just an upalakshana. We see things which are not to be seen. We hear things which are not to be heard. We speak things which should not be spoken. Right? We do all sorts of things which are not sanctioned by Shastras, in fact, which are even prohibited by Shastras. But Mahaparivas says, if we really believe the shloka, Jabo Jalpa Shilpam Sakalamuti Mutra Virachana, or Atma Tum Divida Mati Sahachara Prana, Shariram Griham, or even Kayena Vacha Manasi Indreyarva. If we really have that shloka in our mind itself will not go towards those shastric practices. No, Shastra says we can only eat certain things. We cannot eat certain things. We can only see certain things. We should not see other things. We can only hear certain things. We should not hear other things. We will not be watching, when we do puja as a part of upacharam of puja. When we put some mega serial to Bhagavan, when we just like how we say Sangeeta Sevam Avataraya, we will not put some film music to Ambat. Will we do that? No, right? Or we will not Nritya Sevam Avataraya. We will not be showing some break dance as a seva to Ambat. In puja setup, we will not do. But the problem is we tend to differentiate between we do puja, while we do puja, after we do puja, அது வேறவாயி, இது வேறவாய். Just like how that comedy comes. You will be thinking, okay, this is different, this is different. I will do puja when I do puja. After I do puja, I am going to be a completely different person. But Shastra says it is not so. Mahapariva says it is not so. Acharya says it is not so. Krishna says it is not so. Why? Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. Even when you see a movie, even when you hear a film song, even when you sing a film song, even when you see break dance or whatever the type of dance that comes, it is all being offered to Swami. Mai sarvani karmani कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै நாராயணாய இது சமர்ப்பயாமி. நம்ம வசதியா அந்த ஸ்லோகத்தை பூஜைக்கு மட்டும்தான் சொல்றோம். மற்ற இடத்துல we are not chanting this shloka. In fact, we have to chant the shloka even after every karma. And there Mahapariva asks, hey, if all of these things are like puja to Bhagavan, whatever things, whatever those things, only those things that are fit to be offered as puja to Bhagavan, we should do only those things in our day-to-day life. There are some things which we think is going to be completely non-negotiable, like going to work, etc. Okay, those things you do. But we should slowly start to reduce our sensual indulgences in those things which are not sanctioned by Shastras. That is what Mahapariva says in Devathan Kural. When I think it is in the place where Pariva explains this shloka, from Sakalamati Mudra Virachana. Pariva has given out the meaning of selected shlokas of Saundarya Lahari in Devathan Kural. If we have not read that before, please read it. தை மாசம் வரப்போறது அம்பாளுக்கு ரொம்ப விசேஷம். அதை ஒரு பிரமேயமா வச்சுண்டு தெய்வத்தின் குரல்ல சௌந்தர லகரியில ஆச்சாரியால் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காள் மகாபிரிவாங்கிறதையாவது ரீட் பண்ணலாம். அதுல பெரியவா டாக்ஸ் அபவுட் தட் இட் இஸ் வெரி வெரி ரெலவென்ட் டு தி கரண்ட் ஸ்லோகா தட் வி ஆர் சீயிங். மயி சர்வாணி கர்மாணி Sanyasya Adhyatma Chetasa. Again, we have not seen any Bhagavad Gita shloka today. We only saw all these ancillary shlokas. In the Bhagavad Gita shloka, what is Adhyatma Chetasa? We need to understand. What is Nirashihi? We need to understand. What is Nirmamo Bhutva? We need to understand. And then Krishna says, Yudhyasya Vigata Jwaraha. Because he is speaking with Arjuna. And because the karma that Arjuna has in his hand is to fight, is to do yuddham, Krishna says, Yudhyasva. Hey Arjuna, you do fight. You go participate in the war. Let your participation in the war be a puja for me. Mai sarvani karmani santasya. Even when you do war, let that be an offering unto me. Yudhyasva vigata jwaraha. Do not lament, do not worry. Without any worrying, you do fight. But we will come back to the shloka because we have not finished other important parts of the shloka. The shloka is very important because it is very relevant to all of us. We don't have to see about complete jnani. We don't have to see about complete ajnani. We have to see about our own selves who are in between these two. So the shloka explains our nature. That is why we are taking so much time in seeing the shloka. With this, we will finish today's class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.